Welcome to issue 324 of Critical Encounters, a podcast about Marvel Champions, a living card game by Fantasy Flight Games. Here we take a good look at that most critical piece of the game, the Thunderbolts. We'll discuss those poorly understood characters, unfairly labeled heroes, and their various plans to shape humanity and benefit the planet, as well as those so-called rogue agents intent on thwarting them. I'm one of your hosts, Brent, and joining me tonight, I have Daniel.
Hello, welcome back to the lair, sir.
I am happy to be back. And we also have Scott.
Hello there. Welcome back. Happy to have you here.
The dulcet tones of Scott. And last but certainly not least, Steve.
Oh, how's it going?
Also, the dulcet tones of Steve.
And the dulcet tones of Steve.
Dulcet is not the right word, but yeah, there are tones there. I'm sorry, was I screaming? I didn't mean to.
He's just so excited.
Oh, yeah.
But Scott, what's he excited for?
Well, he's excited because we're turning our attention to a very special corner of the Marvel Universe. In this issue and the ones to come, we're asking a simple question. When justice strikes like lightning, who's really holding the thunder? Today, we continue our look at the Thunderbolt Modular Sets, a team built on secrets, second chances, and shifting loyalties. We will explore whether they're truly heroes, villains, or something far more interesting, and why we can't help but love them for it.
This is super exciting. We are now officially halfway through our Thunderbolts, fellas.
Woo!
This is our halfway show right here.
Wow.
And so I guess we do want to know who is going to be our halfway hero. So, Brent, I think you were going to do the lore. Let's hear it. What do you got? Who are we talking about?
Well, tonight we are going to be talking about actually a favorite character of mine, which is Songbird. Probably one of the more signature Thunderbolts characters, period. So,
Excellent.
Let's get to it then.
all right. Good evening, wrestling fans. The Unlimited Class Wrestling Federation and the Critical Encounters podcast would like to welcome you to tonight's main event. Are you ready? Critical Encounters fans, are you ready? In the red corner this evening, we have our featured minion. She hails from Shoshone, Wyoming, is a founding member of the Grapplers. She stands at 5 foot 5 inches tall and weighs in at 145 pounds. For the handful in attendance and the millions listening around the globe, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Screaming Mimi! So for those of you who have been following the Thunderbolts series on this podcast, you will likely already have a pretty good idea of why we are talking about Screaming Mimi instead of Songbird. But if you somehow managed to remain in the dark about that, I will let you discover this organically through the rest of our episode here. So Screaming Mimi, aka Melissa Gold, was born into a low-income family in Shoshone, Wyoming. As a child, Melissa's mother left her family and ran off with some criminal to go disappear and not be a part of their lives. Melissa faced routine bullying from other kids over her mother's criminal behavior and newsmaking, and also suffered physical abuse from her father because she reminded him of his runaway wife. As a teen, she ended up running away from home, hoping to find her mother, and even took on her mother's nickname, Mimi. She lived on the streets, ended up taking up with a boyfriend who was a criminal named Mike, and then he graciously set her to take the fall for a crime that he committed, and she got sent to jail. So not a good start for Melissa Gold here. In jail, she met a woman who called herself Pound Cakes, who was a criminal and a wrestler, and she ended up inviting Mimi to join her wrestling team, which was called the Grapplers. The Grapplers, in addition to being wrestlers, they moonlighted in criminals in the employ of the Roxxon Corporation, who used their funds to upgrade them with cybernetic upgrades.
Mm-hmm.
Mimi, who was already a very talented singer, had her vocal cords augmented so that she could use her voice to make these high-pitched frequencies that could disorient people and even cause them to have hallucinations. At this point, she comes into comic books. So it's 1979. It is issue 54 of Marvel 2-in-1, and the Grapplers are attempting to break into an organization called Project Pegasus.
Ooh, I feel like we've heard of this.
Yeah, they're breaking in to hijack some stuff for the Roxxon Corporation.
Okay.
There's a hero there, and it's Quasar, and he ends up stopping them and sending them back to jail. So now they're in jail again, and the Grapplers end up running into Dazzler, who has been put into jail. But she, of course, manages to defeat them, turning Mimi's own sonic powers back against her, using her powers.
That's a poor matchup.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bad matchup for them. Once they get out of jail again, they return back to crime. There was even one. They showed up in several issues doing various little, villain of the month things. But one of those was like the Thing was put in a hospital after being badly injured in a battle, and like all the villains tried to just like attack the Thing while he was in the hospital, and that was one of their attempts there. However, after this, they got involved with Unlimited Class Wrestling, which was run by someone called the Power Broker. And the Power Broker had duplicated a version of the Super Soldier Serum and was just using it to just steroid people up and make this insane wrestling league. But for them, it was largely legitimate. They got Super Soldier Serum on top of their cybernetic implants and were largely legitimate for a while. But then a vigilante called the Scourge targeted one of her teammates named Titania. This is a different Titania than the ones that Marvel Champions players are familiar with. The Scourge just assassinated her, and that led to the Grapplers breaking up and disbanding. She drifted for a while. She began a romance with another vocal-themed villain named Angar the Screamer. She showed up on a cruise ship full of female villains who were organizing to attempt to create a female-led utopia. This organization was, of course, thwarted by Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
Not allowing...
Well, we can't have good things.
Yeah, we can't have good things. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Good old Cap.
Mimi joined with some other villains who were preventing the Avengers from ruining the Absorbing Man and Titania's wedding. This Titania is the one we're familiar with, by the way. So different Titania, but it's the one that's in the game.
That's not confusing at all.
Yeah.
She hangs with both Titanias?
Yeah, just... what's that?
She's friends with both Titanias?
Yes, yeah.
Didn't think that was a common name, but clearly she's got a thing for metal-themed named friends.
Yeah, I think the second Titania ended up in the Grapplers at some point as well. So she later joined a new iteration of the Masters of Evil, and then from there she began robbing banks alongside her boyfriend Angar once that Masters of Evil was defeated. But their gimmick for their bank robbing was that she would use her sonic hallucinations to make the people at the robberies believe that they were being committed by Hawkeye and Mockingbird.
Nice. I like it.
Smart.
Hefty.
But of course, this led this effort at redistribution of wealth was ultimately foiled by the real Hawkeye and Mockingbird.
Boo.
But after that, the couple got right back into robbing banks again. But during one robbery, Angar got shot and was killed, and leaving Mimi so traumatized she screamed until her voice implants were damaged. It was after this that she was contacted by Citizen V about a new scheme where the Masters of Evil would pose as heroes called the Thunderbolts. This was part of a long con. Like I said, I'm sure this has come up in the previous episodes, but it's part of a long con to gain access to government systems and make a bid for world domination. So as part of her new heroic identity as Songbird, the Fixer made this sonic carapace for her that, for one, went in and got her cybernetic implants working again. But it was also incorporated some of Claw's technology. So with this combination of things, she could use her voice to create solid sound. So she could turn sound into weapons, barriers, energy blasts. It even somehow allows her to fly, and she would make wings to allow herself to maneuver better. her whole power set ends up coming out a lot like Green Lantern, where she can just use her voice to create these solid shapes that appear.
Cool.
While she was on Thunderbolts, she began a romance with her teammate Abner Jenkins, who was going by Mach 1 at the time.
Mhm.
And the two of them were part of the team that came to enjoy their heroic identities more so than the plans of being a villain. And they really liked the popularity and acclaim that came with them. They liked them so much that when the scheme was finally revealed and the Thunderbolts had made their play and were taking over the world, Songbird and Mach 1 turned against the rest of the team and against their leader and helped defeat their own plans that they had set up. So this puts us about 26, 27 years ago in real world history. Since then, Songbird has fallen almost exclusively into the trap of heroism. She and other Thunderbolts eventually turned the team into like just a straight up legit hero team. Over the years, she's come and gone from different Thunderbolts teams. She's been on pretty much every Thunderbolts team that's ever come around. Led some of them. She's even been an Avenger. She was a warden of the female wing of the Raft. She did have some periods where her meme personality came back and sort of took over and made her cold-blooded and meme, but that hasn't really been an issue in a long time. So at the time of the Civil War that's presented in our game, in Marvel Champions, she had actually gotten involved in a romance with a supervillain and was working as a spy for him inside the Thunderbolts. But then it turned out that she was actually a triple agent and was using the romance to work against him and was a hero the whole time. So even when Thunderbolts teams that she's been on have been put under the control of villains like Norman Osborn and used for just straight up bad guy stuff, she resisted, rebelled, and even took control of the entire team away from Osborn. She is one of the very small number of Jewish Marvel superheroes and has been portrayed celebrating holidays along with other Jewish heroes like Kitty Pryde, The Thing, Moon Knight, and Wiccan. Wiccan is an oddly... Hi, I'm Wiccan, I'm Jewish. Despite beginning as 1/4 of a gimmicky female wrestling team and having a lot of her early history shaped by her relationships with men, she's grown into being an increasingly capable and independent superhero with a tough edge and has a villain to hero arc that has felt organic and genuine. It's a great character arc for storytelling, but a tragic loss to the villain community.
Yeah, I was going to say her Thunderbolt. I was like, this is going to sound bad, but I was like rooting for her to go straight, like reading the Thunderbolt stuff. So they do a nice job with her. She's a good character. I enjoyed her parts of what I read in the Thunderbolts. So
yeah. I said that there was a reason why I volunteered to do this episode, which is that she's been a character I've really enjoyed through the years. But it really is just like she full on went. I mean, she became a warden of a prison. Like, she became the man. So
yeah.
But she kind of showcases that heroism even pretty early when they formed the Thunderbolts. She
like roots for Jolt to join the team, and
she just seems very normal and kind. Her engagement with Abner is they're very caring, right? They're not these calloused, Red Skull-esque, I exist to exert my power. They're very relational. Not that heroes don't also have enormous egos and whatnot. I think Songbird falls in that category of this seems to be like a person who actually wouldn't mind doing the right thing a lot of times. She's just called a villain because she's been on the wrong side of things too many times.
Yeah, I really feel like as far as like villain to hero transitions that have happened in comics, hers was just one of the most easy to palate. It was, it was very well done. You didn't have to deal with this like, didn't they used to just like murder people on the street, kind of villains?
Right.
Like, why are we calling them a hero now?
Yeah. All right, cool. That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I also think it's just super cool that like, she's like the Captain America of Thunderbolts. It's like, well, when you pick up, like Captain America to the Avengers, you just expect to see Cap there. If you pick up a Thunderbolts comic, like, well, of course Songbird's going to be on the team, So going into her actual powers, she has her sonic mind affecting powers where she can cause disorientations and hallucinations. She's even capable of using notes outside the range of human hearing that she can use to affect behavior, giving her some limited mind control. She lost that ability when she screamed her voice out over Angar's death, but has gotten it back since then. She can make all the shapes and force fields and barriers using. She originally had to use her carapace to do this, but she's since had her cybernetics modified to where she can do it without the carapace. It just makes her better. She can fly. She makes herself wings to become more maneuverable, and she got that dose of a knockoff super soldier serum, so she's got the usual super strength, speed, agility, durability, and stamina. That is just sort of
the intro
talking straight.
package.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, should we look at some of her cards then?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so this Thunderbolt modular set is called Hard Sound, and we can find it in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. box, Wave 9, 6 total cards, 5 by title. Brent, why don't you read us the Screamin' Mimi's alter ego here?
Yes. So this minion is called Songbird, is a unique minion. She has 0 scheme with a star with an asterisk. She has 0 attack with an asterisk. Her traits are Aerial, Elite, and Thunderbolt. She has 16 health. She is Villainous. She's got one for the victory display. And she has a Forced Interrupt, which is when Songbird activates, give her 1 additional boost card for this activation. Her flavor text is Time to Face the Music. And she has 4 boost icons.
Okay, cool. She's kind of like a claw thing going on there. She's
Very
villainous,
much,
so she
yeah.
gets a boost card, but then her ability gives her a second boost card. So you never know what she's coming at you with.
Yeah, exactly.
attack-wise.
She could hit you with 0. She could hit you with 6 in
Yeah.
either scheme or attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like Claw, she's going to be very swingy. The thing about her, this is really, I feel like her hero card is most of what she does. It's true of most of the Thunderbolts modulars, honestly. They're only 5 card sets, so the hero card really has to pull a lot of weight. And in her case, this card is really relying on what other modulars you put into the set. Like, you have to have good boost. You have to have either lots of boost icons or interesting effects mixed in with her to really let her shine and be a good opponent to you, because she doesn't have any kind of built-in defenses or anything. Those 16 hit points can go pretty fast if she doesn't have like boost cards giving her tough or something like that to give her some survivability. But if you've got other modular sets in there that really mess with you on the boost effects, she's throwing a lot of cards at you with her with 2 cards on every activation.
Well, yeah, she's not completely helpless though, right? Daniel, she's bringing some things with her, right?
You must be referring to her solid sound construct, Steve,
I am.
which is a weapon attachment that you attach to Songbird, otherwise to the villain. The attached enemy loses stalwart. That's interesting. Forced Interrupt. When attached enemy would gain a confused or stunned status card, discard this card instead. Interesting. And it comes with a amplify icon and 2 boost icons. Wow. Interesting. She loses stalwart. Okay.
Yeah, that exists solely so that amplify icon, you're wanting to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So you've got the amplify, and then if she has stalwart, it goes away for a while until you remove this card, and then she gets her stalwart back if she's been given stalwart somehow.
Yeah, I mean, the way you get rid of the solid sound construct is to stun or confuse her. So she can't be stalwart if you're going to stun or confuse her.
Exactly.
That'd be a nasty trick if you could somehow arrange that.
Right. Well, and the amplify plays right into her double boost cards, right? So that's two attack right there, or 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
That gives her a range of it's going to be 2 to 8 on her effect.
Now, if I'm trying to grief my friends and I blank her text box, that also blanks the amplify, right?
No, because the amplify is on the attachment, right? Not the
But if I blank this sounds construct.
Yeah. If you blank
you
the
blank the
construct,
Yeah, that's what I meant.
like
like
Vivian or something.
Rats. That's too bad.
Well, she doesn't just have constructs with her, does she, Scott?
No, she doesn't. She also has a sonic bubble. It's a side scheme. You can't touch this, Songbird says. Classic MC Hammer. Can't touch this. It's a forced interrupt. When any amount of damage would be dealt to an enemy, remove an equal amount of threat from here instead. It has a crisis and starts with 3 threat per player and has 2 boost icons.
This gives her a little bit of the survivability that she's missing. I mean, it's pretty speed bumpy.
Yeah. Okay. So let's look at a 4-player game. There's 12 threat on here. We punch any enemy for 3. They take no damage, and instead we remove 3 threat.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Now we can also remove threat here from snotty like yellow cards, right?
You could just thwart it normally.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Yeah, that would be fun if you just had to punch
Had
it.
to
Like
punch it. Because how are you going to weasel your way around a sonic bubble?
Right. Yeah. This would be a good card for that assault keyword.
Mhm.
Right.
That,
Yep.
like we see in Hercules kit, right? Where it's like when you thwart, you have to use your attack. Like that would be cool because you got to punch your way through the bubble. That would make more sense to me.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But they also want to make sure that you can't also attack enemies. So it effectively has
Yeah,
assault.
that's true. Oh yeah,
because
that's
you just
true.
attack the enemies and then you take the threat off here.
Yeah, okay,
But
never mind.
with an assault, you couldn't thwart it with your base thwart. You have to use your base attack. So I'd feel like that could still be kind of a nice
That could still be good.
keyword
Yeah.
to have added to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when this pops up, it's buying all the enemies on the board a little bit of time. It's not bad. It's like I say, it's a speed bump, but
I mean, it is a crisis too, so you can't be thwarting the main as well. So okay, so she has her constructs and her bubble. Let me tell you about her bindings in the hard sound bindings attachment. Attached to your identity. Forced interrupt. When you would attack, discard hard sound bindings instead. Then you are stunned. As 1 boost in the special boost action, you are stunned. If you were already stunned, give the activating enemy an additional boost card. Okay. Okay.
3 boost cards coming at you.
With an amplify on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, with an amplify on the table.
Yep.
This could be tough.
yeah. I mean, as far as the effect, it's basically a webbed up.
It's webbed up. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still thwart. You just can't attack. So, yep.
Huh.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like, we've seen all custom art, commissioned art, and this is the first comic piece. And I think I like the commissioned art better than this one. So
I love the art on Sonic Bubble. I think that's incredible.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah,
Songbird herself. I really like her look.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm a big fan of solid sound constructs just because that's just like sort of a typical thing that she does in the comics is this collection of various, objects that she's just blasting people with.
It's pretty
I
weird.
like the attention to detail she has on her hammer and stuff like this. We're gonna bevel the edges and we're gonna great. Okay, there's 1 card left, Brent. Why don't you give us that last card?
Okay, and the last card is Hard Sound, which we have 2 copies of. It is a treachery. When revealed, find Songbird and reveal her. If she's already in play, she engages you. Songbird activates against you. No enemy activated this. If no enemy activated this way, this card gains Surge. Has a boost effect of give the activating enemy an additional boost card. So that is a boost icon and a boost special. So.
All right. So this is the modular set. Go find Songbird card and player.
This is every Thunderbolt has
Yep.
this when revealed text card with a slight variation to the boosts down at the bottom.
Yep.
So yeah, it just fishes her out, brings her into play.
Okay, so Songbird attacks you. She has her constructs out. So she's got 2 boost cards and an amplify. You draw a hard sound as the boost card. So then you draw the second hard sound as the boost card, and then you get the hard sound bindings as the boost card. But you're already stunned, so then you get another boost card, and you're like 8 boost cards.
Yeah.
How many total boost cards have you had, folks, when playing with Songbird? I want to know. Like, what's your maximum boost chain? Right. Let's hear what people have had.
Yeah, I've definitely had some games like she's very swingy when you include her in a game. So you never know how big of a threat she's going to be unless you've really loaded up that deck to be aggressive. But I've had her like just like, oh, it's Songbird. I'll focus on Blizzard or I'll focus on Atlas. One of the
Mm.
more obvious threats, and then she will just show up and just swat you, or worse, scheme with some giant amount of scheme.
Yeah, she is definitely not like Mach 4 where you're like, okay, he has to go before we can't do anything about him. I can see kind of getting delayed on her and then paying the price. So
Yeah.
I was gonna say I think she's a good one to pair with Joystick, because Joystick also has that bit where like you can give yourself an extra boost card to draw a card, and so the two of them would maybe key off each other really, really well in that sense of trying to get those extra boost cards out and finding yourself swimming in more damage than you expected.
Yeah, and in not in outside of the Thunderbolts scenario, I like to put her in and include like Frost Giants, or do like Hulk's Nemesis set as a modular, because both of those are just all like 3 boost icons on every card.
Nice.
Or to find
That's
find
mean.
one of the sets that has a lot of like stuns and confuses in it as a result of boost icons, and put that in there.
Oh, Brent, you are our kind of villain.
yeah, definitely.
Love
So-
that.
I like Songbird a lot now. I, of course, did my own research. Now, while Brent, you were talking, I stepped out for 2.5 minutes to deal with a housemate of mine. Now, did you mention how each note she screams induces a different effect on those who hear it?
I did not go into that level of detail. No, do you want to
Yeah.
cover that?
She has like a full octave that she can scream, and every note does something a little crazy. And the technology she uses was created by Claw, so that would explain why she gets 2 boosts.
Yeah,
You did
Yep.
say that, right? Okay.
he
Yeah.
mentioned that while we
Um,
were
He
out.
did
Yep.
mention the claw bit, but yes.
Okay, sweet. But yeah, I love this note thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Dang. So
Well, folks should listen for special notes at your next song that you do.
yeah,
Daniel.
you don't want to have her screaming. You don't want her screaming F at you. Oof.
Oh, is it bad?
I mean, if you've got it in
Uh,
front of you, what are the notes and what
So,
do they do?
all right, so starting from low C causes anxiety and shortness of breath. D, high level anxiety and panic attacks. E, dizziness and vertigo. F, nausea and stomach cramping. G, severe headaches and fatigue. A, blindness. B, euphoria and eventual stupor. And then when she goes the full octave to high C, she causes the listener to hallucinate. That's sweet.
That is pretty sweet.
Nah, she's super cool.
Let's see if we can do that on the podcast.
Shoot for the euphoria and stupor part.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Steve, if you could be playing like the B note the entire time underneath the whole podcast, that'd be great.
Oh,
See what happens.
Yeah.
I might have been playing the wrong note, and now everybody is gonna go clog the drains up in their toilet. Sorry about that.
Oops. Sorry about
Oops.
that, folks.
Sorry, folks.
it's funny like how vocally talented she is, because in the comics, she has to scream to fly and scream to use her powers and everything, but she converses at the same time she's doing all this. Like she is singing and talking at the same time.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
you don't see that very much.
Yep.
She's also in the movies, right? Isn't she?
She is in the MCU. Yeah, she's in the Thunderbolts
She's
movie.
like Val's, I don't know, sidekick, helper, whatever.
Oh, really?
Like-
I did
yeah.
not know that.
Yeah, she's
And
the
the-
character Mel in the Thunderbolts movie,
Oh, okay. I didn't
who's
catch that.
also
Oh.
having like a crisis of conscience in that movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Does she show powers in the movie?
I
No,
don't-
no.
No, she does not.
Okay.
But maybe they sprinkle in some of these other ones there as Easter
Yeah.
eggs, or maybe we'd get something later on. That's cool. Well, gentlemen, is there more to say about Screaming Mimi / Songbird?
No, I love her. Oh, she's great.
Yeah, she's fun. All right. Well, let's Justice Like Lightning here and move on a little bit. Folks, tell us your favorite note that she sings to you. You can email us at criticalencounterspod@gmail.com. We're Critical Encounters on Facebook. You can find our YouTube, Twitch, or Patreon by searching for Critical Encounters Podcast. And on Discord, we are Vardane, Big Foam Love, Lexicon, and Lack of Subtlety. If you like our show, tell your friends. If you don't like our show, tell your enemies. Screaming Mimi, take us out.
My luck isn't that good. That's why I'm a Thunderbolt.
Brent, thanks for coming on and telling us all the lore.
Oh yeah, no problem at all. This is how I met you. I mean, shoot, man, like we were at the con, and I was telling you I'm a fan of the show, and I'm like, and I want Songbird's lore. Yeah,
That's right. That's right. How many years ago?
last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how fast you're getting around to it now. So
We're moving. We're at a clip. Nice. The story behind that was his wife said, "You cannot scream once our child goes to bed," or something like that. So he pre-recorded it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it.
yeah, my wife is in there. If I had trying to settle him back down for bed right now, he just woke up a little bit, and it's like if I was in here shouting, he would be like, "Daddy, daddy, daddy, what's with daddy?"
Oh, that's
doing?"
fantastic.
I've gotten into trouble for that before. There's certain things that are not recorded in the evenings, yes. Like Mojo, for example.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right, Brent, take us out of that somehow.
All right.